There's a side of Thailand most travelers never see. It doesn't shout, it whispers. Hidden beyond the noise of tourist beaches lies another world entirely. A Thailand where luxury isn't displayed, it's felt. The kind of wealth that doesn't need labels or loudness. It lives quietly in the rhythm of the sea and the architecture of peace. You won't find these places on brochures or package tours. They exist by invitation, not advertisement. Their guests arrive in silence, by seaplane, by speedboat, or by knowing the right person. Here, privacy isn't a service, it's a promise. In the Gulf of Thailand, turquoise waters hide islands that don't appear on digital maps. Between Samui and Koh Phangan, one resort blends into the cliffs so seamlessly you might miss it from the sea. It has no sign, only a carved teak door at the end of a winding stone path. Inside, time feels different. Each villa opens toward a private pool that dissolves into the horizon. Infinity isn't a concept here. It's an address. Every butler moves like a shadow, appearing only when needed and vanishing before you can thank them. Service becomes art, invisible but unforgettable. At night, the air smells of lemongrass and salt. Candlelight flickers against glass, and the ocean becomes a mirror of stars. Guests dine in silence, the waves keeping time with each course. Conversation fades, awareness takes its place. Because true wealth doesn't glitter, it breathes. Further north, a private peninsula near Phuket hides another secret. Even locals can't agree on its real name. Here, villas are designed not for display, but for disappearance. From the air, only treetops and water reveal their outline. Architects didn't build over the jungle. They built within it. Every suite feels like a temple suspended between sea and sky. Glass walls dissolve the boundary between inside and outside. The first light of morning enters like a prayer. Phones stay silent. Footsteps vanish in sand, and the only sound is the heartbeat of waves. Stillness becomes the loudest luxury. The staff learn your rhythm by the second day. They appear with your tea before you realize you wanted it. This place never advertises because mystery is its currency. What cannot be found cannot be copied. It's where CEOs disappear and artists remember what quiet feels like. Privacy isn't policy here, it's oxygen. Dinner arrives like ritual, soundless, and perfect. Even the sea seems to pause in respect. This isn't the Thailand of postcards. It's the Thailand of secrets kept for those who listen. Each resort carries the same philosophy. Luxury here is rhythm, not decoration. It's sunlight filtered through palm leaves and stone warmed by decades of tides. It's the art of existing without leaving a trace. Further east along the Andaman coast lies a sanctuary without an address. Guests arrive by boat beneath a moonlit sky, unseen by the world they left behind. There are no gates, only a subtle shift from reality to reverence. Even the air feels slower here. Villas carved into limestone face the west, where the sun performs its nightly descent. For a few moments each evening, the horizon burns like gold leaf. Privacy becomes almost spiritual, a practice rather than a privilege. Isolation turns to intimacy with the self. Breakfast is served to the sound of waves folding into themselves. The sea carries no noise from beyond the reef. Distance, once a measure of inconvenience, becomes divine. It's the rarest currency left on earth. Every sunset feels private, every silence earned. The world beyond this shoreline simply stops existing. No crowds, no interruptions, only stillness disguised as indulgence. The absence of noise becomes the new definition of wealth. Staff remember you without asking. They fold familiarity into every gesture like a secret language. Effort disappears. Only grace remains. That is the highest form of service. These resorts are not built for everyone. They are built for those who have already seen everything and seek to feel something again. Travelers who crave stillness more than spectacle will understand. Because the ultimate indulgence is invisibility. Thailand hides its most precious sanctuaries, not behind gates but behind awareness. You can't find them by searching. They must reveal themselves. And once they do, you understand why no one speaks of them. Words would break the spell. In the far south, there's an island that doesn't advertise its existence. Only private invitations and unmarked docks reveal its edge to those who are meant to find it. The villas here are built of glass and stone, half buried in the hillside. From the ocean, they're invisible, a secret written in shadow. Guests arrive by speedboat at dusk when the horizon melts into gold. The water glows softly, reflecting lanterns that seem to float rather than burn. Every villa has its own stretch of shoreline. The sand feels untouched, like memory rather than geography. There are no front desks or check-ins. A quiet figure meets you on the dock, addresses you by name, and vanishes after a single bow. The first night feels unreal. The sound of waves replaces your heartbeat until you forget where one ends and the other begins. Every sunrise carries a sense of privilege. It's not the view you paid for. It's the silence that chose you. Afternoons unfold in slow motion. Champagne cools in the water beside smooth stones worn by centuries of tide. Each guest becomes a ghost of luxury, moving soundlessly between sea and sky. This isn't a holiday, it's an initiation. By the second day, you stop checking the time. The resort teaches you to measure the day by the movement of light. At night, candle paths appear along the beach without footprints. The sea glows faintly with bioluminescence, as if applauding the stillness. Here, wealth is invisible but omnipresent. It's in the air, the design, the calm authority of every detail. One island further east lies a retreat known only to diplomats and designers. There are only 8 villas, each one entirely different from the next. One floats on a lagoon shaped like a teardrop. Another is hidden behind a waterfall that only parts when you approach. These resorts don't compete, they conspire. Each one is a note in Thailand's quiet symphony of secrecy. The north tells a different story. In the mountains near Chiang Rai, luxury takes on the language of solitude. A handful of lodges sit on ridgelines overlooking mist-covered valleys. At dawn, clouds drift through your balcony like silk unraveling. Inside, gold accents meet woven bamboo, tradition meeting discretion. Nothing feels designed. Everything feels inevitable. Monks pass along the trails below, orange robes glowing against green fields. Bells ring softly, reminding you that serenity here has roots. This isn't opulence, it's inheritance. The kind of wealth that comes from time, not money. Evenings bring the scent of wood smoke and jasmine. Meals are served beside open fires. One table, one story, one unforgettable quiet. The chefs don't introduce themselves. They let flavor speak. You realize the luxury isn't in what you're given. It's in what's taken away. The noise, the pressure, the performance. As darkness folds over the mountains, a hush settles like a velvet curtain. It's in that silence that you finally understand what these places are selling. Not escape, revelation. Across Thailand, true luxury hides in plain sight. It waits behind ordinary doors for travelers who move slowly enough to notice. The secret resorts you've never heard of have no interest in being found. They exist for those who no longer need to prove they can find them. They're the quiet reward for restraint in a world that overshares. A promise that beauty doesn't need to be broadcast to be real. In a world obsessed with exposure, Thailand still believes in mystery. It knows that the most exquisite things lose meaning once they're made common. That's why the map doesn't help you here. Only curiosity does. Every path to these sanctuaries begins with surrender. You stop searching, and they appear. The jet-set world calls it ultra-exclusive. Thailand calls it balance. Because here, luxury and humility still know how to coexist. The concierge speaks softly, never selling, only guiding. Even departure feels like a secret kept between friends. You leave with less than you arrived, with fewer words, fewer worries, and a gentler heartbeat. And when you look back from the boat, you understand why these places stay unspoken. To name them would be to limit them. They are Thailand's most delicate miracles, luxury made invisible by grace. You return to the mainland changed, though no one would notice. The silence you found lingers like a scent you can't wash away. This is Thailand's truest form of indulgence. Not loud, not proud, but infinite in its calm. For those who seek it, paradise still exists. You just have to listen closely enough to hear where it's hiding.